Hi, everyone. Welcome back to another full-length episode with Mystic
Big
Scales
Scales
and
and Fae
Fae
Tales
Tales
podcast.
podcast. I am Lee,
And I'm Jen.
and today we are wrapping up our discussion of the Book of Azrael by Amber v. Nicole.
Oh my gosh.
So,
Can't believe we're finally done with this book.
uh,
Mind you, this book is like pages and pages and hours long. Like I think it was like 20, what did I say, 27 or 26 hours of my life
hours, yeah,
listening.
yeah, over 500 pages. I read it on Kindle, and I think Kindle said it was like 560 or something. And then I got to like 542 and I like checked the chapter thing and like acknowledgement started on 554 and I was like, yes, I'm so close.
That's so funny. Yeah, for anyone wanting to get into series right now, it's on Kindle Unlimited. Um,
It is, yeah.
But I discovered too, so I did the audiobook for the first book and I've talked about it in the previous episodes because check out our first two episodes if you haven't yet for the first two reviews of this long book. Um and I didn't really like the audiobook and I was like, I can't do this again. But I didn't want to buy the physical books because I'm not really enjoying the series. So I was like, oh, do I get a Kindle Unlimited account? Like I'm not a big ebook reader because I just staring at screens all day and then going to the screen is hard for me. Um
Mm.
but I saw that the book was only like each book is only like $2.99 on ebook. So I was like, oh, I'll just buy the next couple books for like $3. So I actually did
Hmm.
that last night. I bought the book. I have the
Nice.
Kindle app on my phone and I have like a little tablet too, so I could just read it. So now I will be like you. I will be switching over to read it on E and I can highlight.
Yeah, that's been actually really great. I haven't done that before.
Really?
Um, yeah, like I've noticed like in Kindle you could see like a commonly highlighted phrase, like they'll underline that for
Oh.
you. So I've always seen that, but I've never done it myself. But this one, I was like, I need to remember these pages and remember these quotes. So I have that pulled up here because I did it and it was kind of nice.
When you highlight, can you make a note too? Or it's just
Yeah. Yeah.
that's
Or
cool.
you can just do a note or you can just highlight. I do both just so I'm like remembering.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's the thing I like about like now that going to E is that you can change the colors too of the screen
Mm-hmm.
and that's helped me a
Hmm.
lot with my migraines and like reading off um of like a e-reader is that I'm like I need to change the color, I need to change the font, and then it's like a
Hmm.
little easier. And then it does feel
Yeah.
like very accomplished when you're clicking through like every time you click through. And I don't know, like reading on on the phone I feel more accomplished because I can, it's smaller, so you're finishing the page and you're like,
That's
yeah, and then you get to like the page count and you're like, wait, I didn't get through that much, but it just feels like
right.
it because you're like, click,
Because
click, click, click.
right, I haven't figured out like how many swipes is like a full page, and obviously it's going to be different for everyone because of the font size. But
Yep.
yes, I do the same. And I'm always like, how long is page 142?
That is so true. Oh my God.
But I
Okay, well,
love
this
it.
is exciting. We're finishing the first book of the series, even though we're not in love with the series, at least we were able to get through it. And we're still like our book club is going strong with it.
Hmm.
So join us on the app Fable if you haven't already. Our book club name is Mystic Scales and Fae Tales, same as our podcast name. We go through the books. Have discussions in every chapter. We try to put fan art from Pinterest in, and it's all fun. And you get to see reviews and see us reading in real time. And then
Hmm.
you get to come on here and listen to our wonderful reviews. So, like we said, end of the show right now. We're gonna go from chapter 36 all the way to end of book one. And then from there, we are going to start we already started the next book in our book club. Actually, our book club's a little ahead than the episodes. So check us out there and we'll keep breaking down the series throughout our podcast episodes for the full length before the new book, actually, the next book in the series comes out in October. I think it's the end of October, somewhere there.
And
Um,
that's book four. Is that
that's
right?
book four of
Copy.
apparently seven. So we will see. And then once we're done with the fourth book, we will we will probably be moving on to book two of the Quicksilver series since we have also done Quicksilver. um, on this podcast and on our club. That's Brimstone. Hopefully, I think it'll align timing wise when it comes out. So we'll go over that book. And then hopefully we'll get to a new series after that and try something new. But we'll
Yeah,
see.
that sounds exciting.
I know, it sounds like a lot of reading. It's great. And our mini episodes, as a reminder, have a nice series going on right now with our mini episodes. The Allie Hazelwood series. I feel like I should put like a little like sparkle. The Allie Hazelwood series.
Yeah,
We
like the
have previously
SpongeBob.
reviewed, yeah, like the SpongeBob meme. We have previously reviewed Love Hypothesis, Love Theoretically, and Check and Mate by the time
Yeah,
this episode's out.
how's that going for you? Are you starting Love on the Brain or how's your journey? Just
I
checking in.
have not started Love on the Brain because I'm waiting to see if my Libby hold comes through. And then
Mm,
if that
okay.
comes through, I'll listen to it. But I do have the physical. When we went shopping recently,
Oh,
we found a
right.
signed copy. So like worst comes to worst, I'll just start the physical copy. But I really like the readers they choose for her book, so I really hope my Libby hold comes in. And then I'll
Mm.
just listen to it.
Okay, so chapter 36. Where have we left our
Oh yeah, as a
characters?
reminder, we have these amazing notes that we've taken together, which I hope we can do this for every book we read together, because this is so fun seeing each other's comments as we're reading. Like we already text each other, obviously, and we talk about it, but
Yeah.
like seeing your comments is so funny. We left them at chapter 36. They're going to go see Camilla. They're
Hmm.
disguising themselves. So Diana's disguised as Ethan, and
Hmm.
throughout the whole book, Diana feels a presence she can't name, which we find out later who it is. They go to Camilla. Camilla, as a reminder, is her ex-girlfriend who's a powerful witch, who
Hmm.
lost their seat as head of the covens
I
because
guess.
of Diana.
Hmm.
Now she only rules this one territory. Um, Camilla wants to make a deal with them for money and protection. She clearly sees through the disguise very quickly because like Liam tried to disguise himself, and this witch is like, I'm powerful with magic. Like, you think I can't see through magic? I can. So
Yeah.
then, she wants a deal from Liam that she'll be protected and money, and she has to seal the deal with a kiss, which Diana is very jealous of and annoyed
Hmm.
with. Um,
Hmm.
and um, oh, she had to like drink blood because Camilla was like, I guess like calling their bluff,
Oh,
whatever.
right. Hmm.
And like Diana, Miss Diana's on a no blood diet, so her drinking blood is like making her like, oh my God, like a little
Tr
crazy. And
Yeah,
Liam keeps
triggered.
saying that too. Um, so that was chapter 36, and that was like before we get into the craziness. So any thoughts so far?
Um, that's. Uh,
I thought Diana was
well,
annoying. When is she not though?
yeah. I mean, yeah, I thought it was I don't know if annoying's the right word, but why did Camilla have the book, quote unquote? Like that was weird that I think it's just again like the convenience. Like, oh, she's got the Book of Azrael, like everything's solved. And then she like wants to make this deal and like you said, like she wants money and protection. And I'm just like, this is where again, like the world doesn't make sense. Like, why do you need money? Like these beasts are just like killing people at whim. I don't know. It doesn't flow for
You're a
me.
powerful witch. Yeah, why do you need money? Why is that your
Yeah.
like I don't
Yeah.
understand.
And then like Liam gets like wowed by Camilla, like by her power, which I thought was like a little strange too, because he's supposed to be like the most powerful ever. So like is she also like the most powerful ever? But I think it was just supposed to be Diana gets jealous
Yeah.
because he's into her power. And yeah, there the kiss was ridiculous.
Well,
Because it turns
remember,
out what?
oh no, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, remember, Liam can see people's souls.
Oh,
So,
right.
as we learned, I think it's later on. So maybe when he sees Camilla and her power, he sees something that impresses him.
Maybe. I mean, later on, she betrays them, supposedly. So
Maybe, possibly, who knows?
I don't know what he's seeing. But yeah, weird that the kissing, she can like reveal things to him. So it's kind of
Hmm.
like blood dreams. We'll call it kiss dreams, I guess. Um,
Kiss
so he
visions.
kiss visions. So he's like, that's why I had to keep kissing her to like she's showing me more. I was like, okay, wouldn't Diana know that? Like that
I
when
guess
she
not.
kissed her, like she could see things. I don't
Well,
know.
maybe it might be like the person's giving it to them. Like she's
So
not like so it's like a part of her magic. Like she's kissing you to give you it's someone in their book club said it's similar to Harry Potter when they like take the tear and they're like, watch my tear,
okay.
watch my memory. Like it's someone's giving
Sure.
it to you. It's not just like she randomly kisses you and gives you all her memories because that would be terrible. She would never kiss anyone.
I mean, true, but like, I don't know. She was in love with Diana. She didn't ever want to share something with her in this intimate way. Whatever.
Yeah.
I'm thinking too much. Um,
Yeah, I think you're giving them too much credit.
I know, but like, that's the things you have to think about if you're building a world with this kind of magic, right? Like, this is what your readers should ask you or your editor. I don't know. So,
I agree.
anyways.
So then we get to chapter 37 and 38. So Santiago shows up. I wrote Caden's witch, but did you write this Caden's witch bitch or I probably wrote that?
You wrote that.
That's the like real head of the coven right now. Um, Santiago goes to shoot Diana. We learn that Camilla, yeah, you said gave the images. So in the visions, why does Camilla have the Book of Azrael? Because Azrael's daughter, um, she had
Ava?
been working against Caden for a while. Yeah, and so she w w- knew Camilla. I think they explained it on how they knew each other. I forgot. Um, and so yeah, that's how she has it. Um, so Diana in her rage of jealousy after they get rid of Santiago, because he runs away like a little bitch, um, he becomes a beast and attacks Camilla, and Liam has to stop
Mhm.
her. Um,
Right, because he's
so
like, we need
then,
her.
yeah, Santiago left, but his coven stayed, so they had to fight through that. Um, Then Diana and Liam get to like a spot where they're not like fighting, and they have a fight because I said because either you or me said this because she's immature AF and is mad about the kiss but won't say why. Anyway,
Mm,
she gets stabbed by one of the creatures and is taken, so he goes looking for her. Um, but overall, the visions confirm the book exists. And then also Liam can create storms, so he did that as well to try to get them distraction. But then once
hmm
Diana is snatched, because instead of them running away when they finally got to freedom and said they had this really immature argument, they were distracted and she got snatched. So then uh and he's running after her, and this is where we finally get to see the blade that he's been talking about the whole book, the Blade of Oblivion. He fights
hmm
the creatures with that. Diana gets badly injured, and that's where we get to chapter 40. So any notes there before we move on?
Um, no, I just have the one where she gets jealous. I put this in the book club, and she says, I had fallen for someone who had no intention of catching me. And it's the third time we've used this line. The first time Drake says it to Liam. So Liam like has a internal like, oh God, like I'm falling for this girl, but like I'm not good for her. And then I think Liam says it the second time. And then now Diana has internalized it. And the first time I was like, wow, that's like a nice line. It was one of the ones that had been highlighted many times. And then when she said it, I was just like, I can't. Like, this is so overused. This is so corny. So that was my note from chapter 36.
I love that. I absolutely agree. So then we move on to Diana is badly injured, so Liam brings her to a small town he finds. And this is where I start to realize that
Oh,
Celestials live everywhere, and I really don't understand the landscape of this world at all. Because
no.
later on, as we'll see, Diana goes to a mortal house, and then like so much happens where we're like, I don't understand the world. So anyway, so then he goes to a Celestial's house. Um, and they obviously let him come in because he's the ruler or whatever. And they're
Right,
like
right.
grateful to
Of
have
course.
him. They give him space. This is where we talk about, I think I mentioned last episode to you that he does these symbols on a mirror, and then
Oh, to talk
suddenly he can
to.
like talk to Logan, and it's like a
Hmm.
holograph or whatever.
Hmm.
Um, and they discuss what's happened. It's not a one bed situation for this inn, but he also refuses to be apart from her now that he almost lost her. So he goes into her bed. He can control his body temperature, but didn't tell her that. So he turns himself cold so he can be close for her for quote unquote warmth. She is smitten because even though she had the information he needed for the book, he still went to save her. Like he could have left her, which I was like, no, he wouldn't have. Like, girl, what? Why are you believing that? Like, that's something I would have believed like early on, not right now.
Yeah.
Um, and then oh, I wrote down, you still have witch breath. She says that to him, and then he's like, then
And
fix it, and that's when they kiss.
yeah, what a great line.
Literally. Um,
Uh,
then they have some sexy time.
which,
They
okay,
finally do.
they're in an old couple's house. I was like,
Yeah.
I can just imagine how tiny this is, how like thin the walls are. Like, have some grace. Come on.
I wrote that too. I was like, these poor celestials.
And then in the
Um,
morning, the old man is like, how did you sleep?
Yeah, they have so much sexy time, but they don't fully go through with the deed.
Mm-mm.
They have some, which I also am like, okay, I am not straight, but I'm like every fantasy book we read, when they have like their first encounter with sexual, like of course they frame it as like, making sure the woman gets the pleasure before the man, which
Mm,
is like I get it, but it's like kind of
mm,
always like the same act before the big act.
mm.
If you and so I'm like, why
That's
is it always the same? Why can't people be like a little different? Which I guess like it's only so much ways you can be creative with it if it's all the same things in the end.
sure.
But like it's
No,
so
that's
interesting to me
interesting.
because it's the same as Akatar. Akatar does I don't which I think Akatar came before this. Akatar does the same thing. Reese and Feyre have that moment before they actually do it. It's the same act,
Mm-hmm.
and I've seen that in a
Mm-hmm.
lot of books we read. It's the same act before the actual end
Mm-hmm.
act. So it's interesting. I'm like, I was thinking of that. I
Yeah.
was like, why did they not
Yeah. And
change it up? I guess.
it's kind of like the same setup too. Like, because they're in Reese's house,
Hmm.
you know,
Well, their
after
first
she's
time is when they're in that inn when they're upstairs and there's only one bed, and then she
oh,
feels terrible.
I thought that was his house. When she
No, no,
painted
the
the
same thing.
eyes. No.
Yeah, that's where they finish the deed. But
Oh,
when
I
they
thought that was
first,
in the tent. Is the tent at war? Is that the
that's later
second
on.
part?
Yeah, that's later
Oh,
on. That's when
okay,
they're already
never
established.
mind.
Their first encounter is just like this. They
Mm,
are literally, well, I guess this is just like the Akatar, is that they
hmm.
go training somewhere, and that's where she runs into Lucian and all this stuff. Lucian? Why did I say his name weird? And then
Been too long, that's why.
so
Okay.
then yeah, so they go to train, they run into him, and then like they were like too far to like go home or something like that. So they get an inn, and the inn has the one bedroom upstairs, and they sleep in the bed together, and then they do
Mm,
some sexiness, and that's where she like feels terrible because she hasn't fully broken up with Tamlin yet, and all this stuff. But it's like it's the same act, the same way that this is framed. So, but again, it's not
mm.
just this book. Like I've seen it different other books too. So anyway,
I
it's
mean,
interesting.
yeah, it
I'm
is.
like,
It's getting like formulaic. That's annoying.
yeah, which is weird because this is supposed to be intimate and not formulaic. And I
Yeah,
know the point of it all is like, again, all of these books are honing in that the woman deserves the pleasure just as much as the man. Um, which is great, but like I feel like you could just get more creative, guys. Like, let's get
yeah.
the juices running differently. Um, so anyway, so they have sexy time and they miss the first convoy. And you mentioned this poor family. This poor
Mm.
family indeed, because we come to find out, which I actually really liked
Oh,
this twist. I thought this was really
mm,
great, that the family they're staying with, their son Peter, has died, and he was,
mm.
part of the hand and everything. Who is Peter, you may ask? Go all the way back to chapter one. It's the
Mm.
Celestial that Gabby was beaten up And Alistair and Tobias took them, and once Tobias died, Peter died because they were controlling him like a little puppet. And she
Mm-hmm.
feels so much guilt, as she should. But
Mm-hmm.
this is where me and you got angry, and we talked about this. Because she talks about how she doesn't regret hurting Peter as it helped keep Gabby safe.
Mm.
And I question this because she's then justifying all of her actions for Gabby. So
Mm-hmm.
can't she justify even the worst things by saying it's for Gabby, even if that doesn't equate? Like, what if there was always another choice? How does Gabby feel about death happening because of her own protection? She doesn't have a
Right.
say in that.
Right.
And I wrote down this is one of many reasons I don't like Diana because her intentions are not fully there, which you've mentioned the author is making her supposed to be this morally great character, but you cannot do all of your actions and just say that it's for Gabby
Mm-hmm.
because I think in every situation is different. There might
Mm-hmm.
have been another option. And
Mm-hmm.
like, yeah, she's serving Caden as her overall thing. So serving Caden is to protect Gabby, but even Gabby doesn't want that. So
Right.
how dare you put your intentions in front of that to justify this person's death or justify hurting this person? It just
Mm-hmm.
doesn't work. It doesn't equate to me. The intentions and the actions don't.
No. Because I feel like we've compared it to like Katniss and Prim, right? Because like the Prim is like a trope that we've known for a while, right? With the Hunger Games. Um, and the only person that Katniss truly loves is her sister. And I think that she thinks about what Prim would think was right or what Prim would do. And like that lives in the back of her mind. So she's not gonna blow up children because like that's not the means to the ends. And so yeah, like Diana doesn't think that way, or at least like
Hmm.
is not written that way. So I don't know, is that the author not fleshing that out? Or is it just Diana not? I have a really hard time with this notion that Diana is like a big bad beast and like she's one of the worst. But I don't like she is because she'll do those things and she'll kill people and do it for Gabby. But then at the same time she's annoying as hell and like so immature. And I was like, how can you be this? How can you be both?
Hmm.
But yeah, I agree that like
I, I I agree because it kind of shows like how can all of this centuries of you been alive and you've taken no information for yourself. Like how
hmm
have you not matured in that way?
hmm
Because you should have learned so many things at that time. And and we see so many characters that actually are morally gray in other books that do go on the line, whatever, but they have a secret motive throughout it, of course. And if hers is always to protect Gabby, then you don't lose your morals through that. Then there are choices you're going to make that are hard, but you're also going to try to go around them and do things that are sneaky. But she's never done that until now with Kaden. She's always just gone through it. So I wouldn't really paint you as morally gray then. Like the character I'm thinking of course, because we keep talking about the Hunger Games, is Plutarch. Plutarch is a morally gray character. He still has this overall arching thing he wants to achieve, but there is times where he's gonna still go against it because he has to be within this oppressive society that he's trying to go through. And like you question Plutarch's motives throughout the whole thing. You question his own morality and what he believes. Like, is he doing it for his own psychic power and whatnot? We can have a
hmm
whole book about Plutarch, but I'm just not getting that she's like this morally great character or that she's like you said this beast of like
hmm
oh my God, because Liam's that. Liam is this beast that cannot be reckoned with. And
hmm
he was at this one point immature, but now he's not. And I know he's a lot older than her, but like she's still been around not for like 20 years, for like centuries. So like where is that growth that like she never had that? And
Right.
that's unbelievable. It's just that's insane to me. Like you don't in all those years.
Yeah. Like she's coming across as very much like the puppet that like Caden has created or like that Tobias has created like of Peter basically. And I mean, I guess we see a little bit like in the beginning when she was like sent to kill Drake and like she killed Drake, I was like, "Oh wow." Yeah, quote unquote. I was like, oh wow, she just did it. But then it turns out she didn't do it. So like that was like her little piece of like, oh, I can
Rebellion.
defy and like know that he's my friend or like whatever. But yeah, it's not like a through line like we keep saying. And I like I don't know, like if your sister was doing all of this horrible stuff and then she came back and like I don't know, all you do is like go out to a club like every 3 months, like would you want that? Wouldn't you be like, you're actually a horrible person and it's just to keep me alive? And like I feel like Gabby tries to say that, but like
Mm-hmm.
the fight doesn't last.
Mm.
So it's yeah. And I think again, we're getting lost with like the length of time because it's too long. Because even, and I'm jumping ahead a little bit, but like Caden, no, not Caden. See, Liam says, like, we've known each other for like mere minutes in comparison to
Mm-hmm.
like our lifetimes. And I'm like, that right there. And like with Diana's like growth and stuff, like it's not happening. I don't
Yeah.
know. It's,
It's
and
odd. All of it is just odd.
yeah.
So then we get to, um, like I said, Diana's feeling a lot of guilt. And again, another question of like Liam sees her as not the Morthans he knew. He's not like them, and I'm like, okay, is this like foreshadow that she's like actually not like Morthan? But then she like also identifies as them. Like I wrote he mentions that he wiped out all of yours, like all the Morgans. But like, and she's supposed to like feel something for that. But I'm like, how much does she really relate to that? Because I'm
Right,
like, you were never born of Morthan. You're a
right,
human, and you
right,
were made to this power. So like, I don't even know if I would eventually like just see myself as an Morthan when she doesn't even fully know what the Morthans are because she's only
right.
seen quote unquote Caden if we're believed that he's Nick Morthan.
Mm-hmm.
So like that's why I'm like when they keep mentioning that, I'm like, girl, you really how much do you really identify as that? Because it's
Mm-mm.
kind of odd.
Yeah, I
There
agree.
are so that they learn this book is pretty dangerous because there are 1,000+ secrets in the book from Azrael, and the
Mm-hmm.
main one being how to kill Liam.
Mm-hmm.
Which also they were like Liam can't die and all this stuff. I was like, he definitely can because he's half celestial. So he's not like
Yeah,
full god. And also like we just saw all the gods die. So like gods
die.
can die.
Yeah.
So like for this like crazy like what? Liam can't die. I'm like, yes he can. He might not
Mm-hmm.
naturally die, but like he
But
could
like,
die. Like
yeah.
every all celestials die and all the gods died. He's both. So he's not even
Mm.
full god.
Right.
Of course he could die. Weird.
Agreed.
So they go into the jungle after the convoy finally picks them up, whatever, they're looking for the book. And they're going off of, I think, Camilla's visions and things to try to find. Oh no, not even that. Suddenly, because they know Ava's alive, or they're like, oh, whatever, they have Logan try to find them and get in contact with them. And I'm like,
Yes.
what? Like, so you all knew about this girl this whole time or didn't? Or how well are these like again, convenience, like you said, it's all convenience that like
Mm-hmm.
Logan can find them and track them down within like a couple hours. And I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
so then where were you guys their whole life? Anyway,
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
so they go to the jungle.
I have a quote in chapter 42. This is really random, but it's just an example of that where I think they're asking Ava, like, how do you know about the book? And like, how do you know, or like, how did Camilla know about you? And they say, well, a friend of a friend met one of Camilla's associates a few months ago. And I was like, a friend of a friend of a what? I was like, that's nonsense.
That's so funny. I'm so glad you wrote that down. Yeah, that's like literally like you're trying to piece together your plot, so you have to throw it in.
Yeah, I was annoyed. Anyways, so
Annoying.
they find the book.
Well, we didn't get there yet. Sorry. They go to a jungle first. They walk through the jungle with Ava and the guard. Ava's Ava's mother, Victoria, had built these temples and tunnels in this jungle. So they live here after the Celestials crashed down from, you know, Rishiram being
Hmm.
destroyed.
Hmm.
So they do that. And her mother loved this place, loved the mortals that lived there. So she built temples and tunnels all to protect this book. Um, they jump into a water hole, they find the tomb, and like you said, they find the book. And this is where we get to the real big twist. So the twist is that Ava isn't Ava. Tobias
Ugh.
was there this whole time, and Tobias can bring back people from the dead and control them like little puppets. So he was doing that with Ava and her guardian. Um,
Gross.
he baited, this is why he did all this. He even noted, like, thank God he came when he, like, they finally came when they did because, like, jumping in the water with the rotting flesh doesn't
Oh,
last long, so they would have noticed. Um, so then he baits
right.
Diana, and Diana, being the lack of impulse control that she has, falls
Mm.
into it and lunges,
Hmm.
and he gets her.
Hmm.
Ends up Tobias is an old creature that Liam thought died with his grandfather. So
Hmm.
Tobias is, oh, I don't even know how to say
I
this,
don't think you
called
should even try.
he is a name that I can't pronounce. He's a primordial. So there were four of them originally. They're the ones that created the Igmorthans. As the primordials and the first war was the gods. So the primordials and the first war was the gods and the primordials fighting each other. Um, it's sad that two of them have fallen in that first war, Tobias being one of them, and it was at the hands of Liam's grandfather. Guess not. Um, but that's what caused the ripple effect of so much war when Liam was younger. Was, all this fight about the Morthans, and then the gods created the Celestials.
Mm.
Um, this was all hinted at during the flashbacks with Liam and his dad. The thing that
Hmm.
I have not been confirmed and confused about is what is the difference between a primordial and a god? Who created who? How did they just
Mm.
emerge? What are gods? What are primordials? What are the differences? Or are they all
And
the same? Is this like is this a Titan versus God
mm,
situation? Like that? Or
hmm.
is I don't, it doesn't compute. So that's what we learned. So Liam, that's why Liam is like, holy shit. I know you, but also like,
Yeah.
what? And then she's
Yeah.
like, what? And we were like, oh my God, like where the hell did this come from? They did talk about it early in the book, and one of our book club people, she's amazing. Um, was it Angela? Shout
I
out
think so.
Angela.
Yeah.
Um, was able to she highlighted in her Kindle and went back, and Liam and Diana do talk about primordials, and they talk about they literally say all their names, and one of them is Tobias's name. So like
Mm.
does exist, but this is where we get confirmation of something we confirmed from the begin like we suspected from the beginning, that Tobias and Alistair are not Igmorthan. Like she just assumed everyone around her is Igmorthan, which again,
Right.
I don't know why she never tries to find out any answers about the life that she's living, but whatever. Um,
Mm.
so confirmed that they are not Morthans. So then who's to say that Caden's a Morthan? Who's to say that any of them are even Nick Morthans? We don't know. If the assumption is that Diana was created from Caden and the
Hmm.
primordials make Igmorthans, then wouldn't you think that Caden is also a primordial? And that's why he
Well,
works with Tobias?
yeah, aren't they one of four?
Yes,
So was Alistair one also?
I guess.
Because like Liam freaks out that it's like the four kings, and he's like, that makes you a queen. And she's like, sure it does. Um,
Which
which
I don't get
also
that. They're not married.
it
They're not together.
no, and like he definitely didn't treat her like a consort, like treated her like a prisoner, kind of. Uh,
Yeah.
but yeah, so we have Tobias being this ancient king, and like Caden is another ancient king, and clearly Caden is not his real name. Um, and that's just kind of like thrown in there, not fully fleshed out. I have a comment to say later when we get to it about Caden and who he is.
Yeah, so then
So
I would
we'll
assume that
pause.
we'll go back, and I think though, but I think Alistair was one, and like I think that's the point of Diana killing him is going to be like a big deal that like watch Diana
But
be the only way to kill all of these kings. It's like Diana has to do it from her magic.
but I feel like it happened so easily. Like, what did Liam's grandfather not do? I don't, things we don't know.
Grimm's grandfather, the god, not do.
Right, right, right.
So then we get
Anywho,
to yeah, oh, Caden is one of the kings. Yes, I wrote that down. The horns in Tobias's head is actually a crown representing what he is.
hmm
She just thought that she would grow horns eventually as a Morthan because again, she never did any research about who she
no,
is in the century she's been alive, or any research on
no.
any Morthan. Um, she Diana fights the undead as they're trying to get the book that Liam left in the tomb. Also, the tomb could only be opened by Liam, and that's why they were waiting. Because Victoria did it that
Yeah.
way, so it's only he could open it. Liam
Another,
Tobias fight.
yeah, another issue I had with this scene was like, I felt like the whole time Liam was like, if this book is real, this book is not real, da da da. And then he like opens the tomb and he's like, oh my God, we got the book. This is great. And he like kisses her. And I was like, aren't you gonna be more like, oh my God, it's real, not like we got it? And then continue what happens next, because this is also dumb.
Diana is dumb and tries to be a martyr. So she gets captured
hmm
by Tobias, and Liam makes a deal saying, give me her and I'll give you the book. She's wrapped in
hmm
Tobias's arms and can't speak, like, but makes a dumb decision to pull her heart out, because Tobias has his hand over her heart, as she didn't want to risk her life over the book. But in turn, that made Liam really pissed off because she doubted his capabilities within that. And he was figuring out a plan to get the book and her away from Tobias, but she ruined it by taking her the step ahead, showing again
hmm
she never thinks things through.
hmm
Um, so Tobias gets the book, and Liam has to then put the heart back in her chest.
hmm
Um, and he like passes out and all this stuff because he's like so drained of
Well, yeah, because he
magic.
has to feed her too. Like he gives her more
Yeah,
blood. Um,
she's the one that then gets him to safety, like I mentioned.
hmm
And um, she doesn't understand why Liam saved her, even though
hmm
I thought we were past this. Um,
Yeah, I actually really liked their argument because I was like, Liam is so in the right to be like, why would you doubt me? Or like, why would you make a decision for me? And this is
mhm.
when he literally says, um, on page 493 on the Kindle, he says, you've known me for mere minutes in the grand scheme of things and should not assume you know what I will or will not do. So I was like, damn, okay.
No, he was 100% right. She made a decision she didn't
Yeah.
need to make. Like, let him do his thing. Like there probably was a possibility that he could have gotten both.
Yeah, that was
And you guys haven't
annoying.
even told each. And then for her to also question why Liam would save her after she takes the heart out, when you literally just went, well, he's not gonna save the book because he's gonna save my life. Like he doesn't want me dead. And then to be like, why did he save me? What the hell? You knew that. You knew what he was doing because you
Right.
said, I'm not gonna let him get the book because I know he's gonna take like choose my life over anything else. So why would he not try to sh save you again? Like it just she, I'm like, get over yourself, all of you, please.
Yeah, it was too much back and forth. Like even though you haven't said anything like out loud, like it's been established. Like we get it. Move on.
Yeah, you don't need to
I
say it to establish it if you already established it as well.
right. Yeah. Um,
So then we get to another Liam flashback because Liam is dreaming. And so there's a bunch of gods in the chairs judging Liam on his actions of killing a possible Ignorthan. They're calling him arrogant and impulsive. Um,
which this
even
confused
though
me.
it
I
was
was like,
confusing.
so what I wrote down was my understanding was he had closed off another realm because they were like slaughtering their people. And then they got mad at him and said he was being selfish. And I was like, isn't that exactly what you taught him to do? Like his dad and that other goddess made him do that when he was too young to like have his own say. So I was very confused. I was like, you're not showing me like how he's being selfish. Like, is he
Hmm.
selfish just because he wants to fight? I was like, this is not adding up to me. But then I thought that one god, his name starts with a Y. Um,
Couldn't tell
we
you.
have, I want to say it's like Zodal or something very like Mayan sounding. Um, like he kind of stood out as like the big bad, like in, and he like
Oh, the one that, yeah.
defies, yeah. So I was like, I like latched onto him, and I was like, let me see what this is. And then later on, I feel like there's a scene that he comes back in. But yeah, this flashback. I don't know. And again, like Diana's in these dreams, and how many times has she had these dreams? And she's always like, I went to reach out for him, but he couldn't like see me. Like, yes, girl, we know. Why don't you know?
Yeah, so then the flashback keeps going, so the ghosts and the gods end up fighting each other because some don't want Liam to rule. Um, and he goes against Miss Mara, or I think Mira or something. Um, Liam's father dies in his arms.
Hmm.
Um, and he also saved Liam from death. So then Liam takes off his rage and kills God after God, which was actually kind of epic. Like they kind of just walked up to him and like dis like he incinerated them essentially with like thought or something.
Yeah, I
Um,
was like, why are you? It said like another one got courage to approach him. I was like, no, why are you doing that? He's clearly turning you all to dust.
and then Liam puts the sword in the ground and the planet explodes. So he is the reason the planet explodes. Like it's his fault. Everything is his fault. But where they are right now. Not the
Hmm.
god fighting because that was stupid, but like the
Hmm.
planet exploding and things. Um, and then all he kills like all of the gods. Um, it was confusing if he played it off because he was like saying that like Logan doesn't know the full truth or something. So I'm like, but all of them know kind of what happened because then they also say it. They're like, yeah, he destroyed the planet. So I was like, okay, so
Right,
did they know what he did? It was really confusing because then his name was World Ender, but I guess maybe from before of him killing other realms. So maybe they
right,
think that it wasn't Liam who destroyed their planet. Maybe they think it was just like the gods fighting destroyed it. It was very confusing.
right. Or is it just like he's beat himself up so much about it that he feels like they don't know the true him or something? I don't know.
Yeah, so then we get to the stupid part, where they go, we should go
Mhm.
back to the remains of our planet, go to the library and see if there's anything on this
Mm.
book. Like, y'all didn't think about that from the beginning? I guess not. But they're like, oh, how are we gonna bring
Literally.
Diana there? Because that planet is full of celestials that hate Igmorthans. So like we gotta like disguise Diana. Whatever.
Again.
They sneak her in. She disguises herself as Imogen. Was it Imogen?
Yeah.
Or Imogen.
Who
And
is
which is
basically
his
Liam's
previous lover.
ex. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, we finally meet Cameron, who was mentioned throughout the entire thing, who has
Hmm.
the best sense of smell out of all of them. It's his
Right,
power.
because the goddess who created him, that was their like forte.
Yeah. So
Sure.
then at first they're like, oh my God, we're not going to sneak past. And then they were able to sneak past. They go to the council room and they're going through books, not finding whatever. So then they decide, Liam's like, let's go see the prophecy that he knows about. And again, decided not to go through originally, which Diana does
Correct.
ask him this. She's like, why don't we do this? And he's like, because he doesn't see accurately, because he's seeing past, present, and future. So things could
Right.
change and like nothing is, he speaks in riddles, like you're never going to fully figure it out, which I was like, bet, makes sense. So they go to visit this prophecies oracle. Um, and well, this is where they're given that of course there is a prophecy. And I was like, of course there is, because every fantasy book has a flippin' prophecy. Um, the fate is telling them that the realms will open and Liam will die. He says that Liam already has all the answers he needs. Um,
Hmm.
and Liam is really concerned about bringing Diana back to life because resurrection is like frowned upon.
Right.
And this guy is basically like, you didn't resurrect her. Like, she's dead already or whatever. And he's like, no, she's
Yeah.
different. Like, you don't have to worry about that. And he's like, what? Um, so
Also
then Liam
confusing.
actually freaks out and blames Diana for all of this because of how much he cares about her. And that says that he's selfish. But he basically does like a little love confession, and then she
Mm-hmm.
calms him
Mm-hmm.
down from a panic attack.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so before we go on to the other big twist after that, any thoughts on this fates and everything?
I liked that at the end, Liam was like what you said, like it doesn't matter because he talks in past, present, and future. So like what he's saying, because Diana's basically like, well, we're screwed. Like it's over. Uh, and Liam has like a different perspective. And I think I needed to hear that because I was also like, well, what's the point of this? Like clearly your vision's coming to life and you already saw
Yeah,
her die. So are we just like running towards oblivion here? Um, so I
with a
thought it
sword.
was interesting. Yeah. I thought it was interesting that he was like speaking in riddles. I don't like it because it's confusing,
Hmm.
but I think I don't know if it like set us a little more in place to be like, okay, this could happen. Maybe this already happened. Like,
Mm.
what pieces do we need to look back at? I don't know.
Yeah, it's annoying. I mean, I love any story with a fate. I think it's interesting. I think that like the
Mm,
fates are so intriguing. So I liked it. But yeah, we definitely agree we needed that information going in.
yeah.
So then we come to our final shock of the book. That's not really a shock to either of us because I think we predicted this from episode one. Um, that Gabby has been taken. The sad
Mm.
thing is she was taken with what's her name?
Oh,
Logan's wife.
Navara.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah, I was like, damn, poor girl. Like
Yeah.
she's getting beat up this whole book. Um, Diana clearly is shocked. And they decide to like retrace their steps and they go to like all their places they've been before, like Diana's old home and Gabby's old home, and of course, because Gabby would totally be there. And try to find her. They don't. And I thought this was cool the way that the author did this with this like live streaming thing, and I thought it was fun. Diana has a meltdown, obviously. And then come up on a screen, a TV screen, Tobias is doing a live stream with the anchors, but they're all dead. They make
Hmm.
fun of Liam. Caden comes on the camera, and this is Liam's first time seeing Caden as well.
Hmm.
Um, he describing Caden like the god Yaxel was the one that you had.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
And then he says he has no, but they also says he has no recollection of this guy. So it
Right.
was
It was
confusing.
confusing. Yes.
The most confusing thing to me was like in this description of the live stream and what they're saying, they're like telling the mortals that like all this is happening and like living among them.
Hmm.
So even though I was under the assumption, like we said, like this is Crescent City kind of like everything is all together, apparently not. Apparently the mortals, unless if I read this wrong, aren't aware of all these supernatural creatures living around them. Because they say things like,
Mm.
"Oh, all the stories you've read are like you write are true. All like we all exist." And I'm like, so this whole book, like the mortals are just living in bliss, thinking that like nothing's happening around them, and they're just like, "Oh, like." And like I
So
know they
like
talk about the mortal representation that like the guy was there, so like they very much painted it like Vampire Diaries all of a sudden. Like all of the mortals have no idea this is happening, but only some mortals do, and they're representative of that. Like they were with Caden, and then they were with the Celestials. And I'm just like, what? Like, how did
yeah.
all these like creatures get here then? Like nobody knew like a bunch of these creatures came. I guess because Celestials look like mortals to them.
Yeah, are they like posing as them? I
Yeah, it
guess.
was really weird that this was the chapter that I discovered that. I wish I knew
Mm.
that from the beginning. I think it just would have
Mm.
changed perspective. Because then it's
Hmm.
like when they keep saying the other world is like, is that actually like a separate realm throughout this actual
Mm.
mortal plane that
Hmm.
like underneath them, like living, or
Hmm.
like are the vampires living in the same block as the mortals? Like
No, that's so fair. Yeah, I didn't think about it like that either. But I guess that's what she's trying to say. And I did think like we suddenly did turn into like a Vampire Diaries because like when she compels that family to like use their house, I was like, what is this? You've never compelled anyone before at all.
Yeah, she doesn't shapeshift, but she compels. So Caden's there. He speaks directly to Diana, and he's mad at her. Ends up, Caden is the one that she felt the whole time. That presence, it's always been
Oh
Caden was
my
there.
gosh,
So he was
that's
there the entire
right.
time. I'm not sure why she didn't recognize that. Drake possibly betrayed them, and so did Camilla. Again, we don't know. But
Yeah.
Liam does know. He's like, we never actually saw Ethan's wife the whole time we were there. So
Mm.
like, there's a possibility that the wife was captured and Caden was using it as bait, and then Drake and Ethan had to, you know, had to betray them to get the wife back. Which I was like, okay, valid. Um,
But like
s-
dumb that Liam just like realizes it. Like why wasn't that not like Ethan on his knees being like, they took my wife? Like I just was like, this is a throwaway line so you can just explain something.
yeah, because you would think that Drake and Ethan talk about how like they're afraid of Liam, and they know that like Caden's afraid of Liam. So why
Hmm.
didn't when they go to Liam to try to get the wife back? Instead, they just were like, no, we'll play along with Caden so we can get her back safely. And I
Yeah.
was just like, I guess.
And I didn't think that there was any, like, you're big on the foreshadow. I didn't think that there was anything like super shady, like, happening with them. Like, I don't
No, it only
know.
comes up 2 chapters before where Logan says he doesn't trust the vampires.
Oh, right.
Like
And
when they first
Liam's
get
like, they're
there.
fine. Hmm.
Yeah, so then like that's I guess the foreshadow of like don't trust the vampires. And I was just like, this is dumb.
Yeah.
Um, because as a reader too, like you didn't trust them and then like you grew to trust them. So like why I would have just rather been suspicious of them the whole time. To like have to be like, oh shit. I would rather be suspicious of them the whole time rather than me being like, I'm suspicious of them and the author's like, you don't have to be suspicious of them. And then you're like, okay, I'll give it
Hmm.
up. And then you're like, wait, I was right. So why did you gaslight me?
Hmm.
So then
Hmm.
um Gabby comes out. She says, remember that I still love you. And her neck is cracked, just like Aunt Jenna, like I said she was. I said she was Aunt Jenna from the beginning.
Hmm.
Caden killing Gabby ends Diana's blood deal with Liam, since the whole thing was to protect Gabby. This is how the
Right.
world ends. Meaning this is how Diana ends, because she is his world. And that's what he realizes. And she erupts after Gabby dies. And that is the end of the Book of Azrael by Amber V. Nicole. Thoughts?
I really didn't like the end.
Me either. And our whole book club was like, the end was great. It makes you want to read the second book. I said, no, it didn't. No, it didn't.
I will say I've like thought about it like in the days since I finished. So like that's something, right? Like I've been lingering on it. But I mean, I thought the I thought the live stream was kind of like a cop out because I remember
Oh,
like
okay.
going through and like getting like 80% of the way through the book and being like, are we never gonna see Caden again? Like, and I felt like we needed to see him in person. And
Mm-mm.
I don't know, part of me was like, what if she wasn't watching TV? What if she wasn't near TV? Is there a TV in every space? We don't know. Like,
Apparently.
what if he did
Apparently.
all this and like she wasn't paying attention? It was a leap for me. And I just thought like the writing of the newscast was so bad. Like to lead up to his story was so bad. The they say that tonight's top story is a king with a broken crown that wasn't even his to begin with. What kind of headline is that? Like, I don't know.
Hmm.
And and just like the Liam and like she's his world again. Too soon. Why is
But then
she
I
your
bet you
world?
watch the next one and be like, why would he come after me? Like, I
Yeah.
don't know why he would do this.
So for
Because he
me,
flippin' loves you and you love him. Like, come on, get over
right.
yourselves.
I
This is
think
not
it's
cute
gonna
anymore.
No, I think it's gonna be like a Twilight thing. Like she's gonna run away, or like an Onyx store. Like she's gonna run away, be like, "Don't come after me! Like I'm gonna tear the world apart. Like I'm a monster." And he's gonna have to come after her. So we're just gonna like gender swapping. But again, like to have like I feel like book two is gonna be like female rage and I don't know how we're gonna get 7 books.
It just feels like then like the end of the book was just like, so this was really just about like Diana the whole time, but like didn't feel like it. Like we didn't
Yeah.
talk about this fucking book by the end of it. And I'm like,
Yeah.
this is really important. Like,
Yeah.
and this feels like also this whole thing is just people are upset that Liam is king, even though like he's not really, like he is by name, but he doesn't do anything.
Right.
So then it's like they just don't want him to be the king. Like this just feels like really pointless. I don't know. All of this feels pointless. There's nothing like underlining, like we keep saying. There's nothing underlining. And it's
No.
getting to me.
Like I don't know. I think she also tried to paint it like Caden like does care about Diana and he doesn't, right? Like, is he mad that she's gone? Like, what is his end game? Does he want to be the king? I don't know.
And like king of what?
Yeah.
Like all the realms? Like all the realms are sealed. Like
Right.
king of what?
I
I guess
don't
that's like they want to open the realms, but it's like I just don't understand. I don't understand these realms. I don't understand how many worlds there are, how many people there are. Like I just don't get it. And like how is he the king of all the realms if the realms are sealed? He can't control them. He's only the king of this realm.
right. And is this realm just huge? Is that what we're getting at?
I just really don't like this book. The
Yeah.
first for everyone listening, it's the first book I've rated 1 star this entire year.
Yeah. I rated it 1 star and then I was like, maybe I should be nicer. But I didn't change it yet.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's
no.
funny. I think maybe this is where like your question of like what kind of media would this be suited to? Like maybe this is better as a TV show. Like
This is a CW show. CW should have picked this up. This is CW waiting.
and like
Yeah.
get some help and plot it out. And but yeah, because then sure, you
hmm
can explore all those different relationships that you're plopping in there. And
hmm
I mean, the necromancy thing is like kind of interesting, like with Tobias. It's
Yeah,
gross,
that was cool.
but like
Yeah, that was
that
cool.
that was an interesting plot point. Um, and I think like Liam's blade is cool. That like
Yeah, there are ideas throughout this
yeah,
basically that are like there, but it's not coming together at all.
yeah. And again, like I felt like Liam should have been our main character, like our main focus. And this like draw to Diana and her story is just not working.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Like the next book is long and I'm
My
scared.
guy, I texted you last night. I was like, it's 93 chapters.
93.
I
Why?
was like, are you
It was seven
kidding me?
it was like 700 pages. It doesn't need to be that long. Like it does it. Not that I want it to be split into 2 books, please no.
I know, right? Like our page count for the series is gonna be insane.
Oh my God. Yeah. I don't know.
Well, that is a wrap on book 1 of the Gods and Monsters series by Vivi Nicole, the Book of Azrael. Now we move on to book 2, Throne of Broken Gods.
Oh. I was like, I don't
Um,
even know what it's called. I have it
yeah, I
on.
had to check that yesterday
Yeah.
when I changed the club. Um, so check us out on the app Fable. Our book club is already reading it by the time this episode's out.
Mm,
Let us know your thoughts. Let us know your thoughts for this book too. Are we wrong? I don't think we're wrong. But like a lot of people really love this book, and this feels like a book you either love or hate, and we are not
yeah.
on the love side.
No.
So, everyone has their different opinions. It's okay. Check us out on Instagram and TikTok at Faye Tales Podcast. Let us know your reading journey as well. And stay tuned for our next mini episode, focus on Miss Allie Hazelwood, as always. And that's all I got.
That's it. Yeah. Happy reading.
Happy reading in your fantasy journey.
Yay.